Welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the T92 HMC, the howitzer motor carriage. It's the Tier 10 American SPG. It's located on the northwest spawn of Fjords, and this one is under the command of Oksydor, and he's got 3 marks of excellence on the barrel of the biggest gun in the game, the 24cm howitzer. Game on. Okay, off we go. Well, the hull is a Pershing tank that was converted into a howitzer motor carriage. They only made 5 of these actually in the end, 5 in total. Very limited production. It was going to be used for the invasion of Japan, but since the atomic bomb was dropped instead, they didn't need them and they became superfluous. So only 5 were created. They also created a T93 gun motor carriage with an 8-inch howitzer on the top instead. Okay, well, he's headed off down to this corner. The howitzer is capable of 1100 alpha and penetrating 75mm of armor, and he's got a 7-meter burst radius. Now, I have used this position myself, actually. It's very effective against some of the enemy tanks that try to take that position up on the little hill nearby. Can be a big mistake for the enemy if they try to get up there, because they could lose a lot of hit points. Now, yes, he did knock that tree over, but there's a good possibility he might get spotted anyway if the enemy are looking in this general direction when he fires. Okay. Super Conqueror and STB-1 for his first shot. He's ready. Oh, he landed that one perfectly for the Super Conq to take a hit for 622 hit points from splash alone. And I suspect that he probably damaged some of the tanks that we couldn't see at the same time with splash, because there's 2 Super Conqs there, and we do know that there's another tank there as well, the STB-1. Now, yes, this tank does have a rather long reload time, 46.98 seconds by the book. But of course, Oksydor's got that reduced quite considerably, and his reload time is 36.91, so very good reload time. Oh, right in the face there for 610, but the Super Conqueror does have very strong armor, which means that shell was blocked in terms of didn't penetrate, but he did take a big hit on splash. They started working on this tank very early on in the war, and it was ready by March of 1945. The chassis was lengthened, the Pershing tank, about ready to put his third one in. He fires in. Oh, another direct hit right in the face of that Super Conq. We didn't see how much damage he did, so only showing 1,232 so far. Now, as many of you do know, Oksydor live streams on Twitch TV, and quite often I've actually got him on my second computer. So whilst I'm doing work on my main computer, I can see Oksydor playing on his the other PC. And I believe I did actually see this replay when it was actually broadcast live on Twitch. I seem to remember looking at the shots and thinking, oh, that was a good one. So I do know that, yes, he does have a good game. Rounds out the UDES. Oh, that one hit the top of the vehicle, but he only got 566, so it didn't penetrate the UDES. Now, there is one surviving T92 in the world at the moment. It's actually at the Detroit Arsenal in Warren, Michigan. The vehicle would take a crew of 8, but it probably actually needed a lot more than that, because there was trucks associated with it as well to carry around the ammunition, because it was a very heavy shell. Waiting for the right moment to fire. That's it. The guy's tempting us. Rounds out. Oh, unfortunately it dropped low and it hit the ridgeline there before it got to the Super Conq. Well, it's not a ridgeline actually, it's the hill edge there. He was right to fire at that point though. If he'd actually caught the guy on the engine deck just as he came up over the rise, it possibly would have penetrated the engine deck and taken the guy out of the game altogether. Now, one of the enemy tanks, the Utis that he just hit, is actually gone up onto this corner, which is a bit of a mistake because, as I mentioned earlier, if tanks try to go up that hill, they actually end up getting smacked right in the face on their hull, and that can put them out of the game. Now, he's aiming as if the Super Conqueror is still there. There is one there for certain. In fact, the other Super Conqueror has changed position, so he's going after this one. Right in the face again for 682. They're losing so many hit points from each shot. You'd think they get the message. Oksydor's already got 2,485 hit points of damage. And remember, there's a blind shot in there as well that he didn't get recorded. And you can see that Utis keeps dropping back through the firing arc, which means he could take a round as well. And it'll probably be curtains for him if he does, because it'll go straight through his hull. Especially if it was an armor-piercing round, because I've seen the Salty Jedi himself actually use one of these with an armor-piercing round, and he took out a heavy tank with just one shot that went through the engine bay. That was a pretty amazing sight to see. He's trying to get a shot on the Super Conch there. He might be able to get a shot on this one now if he pokes up on that corner. This one comes into sight momentarily. Can we get a shot here? Yes, he does! 587. The Progetto goes in. Now, something you may have noticed, actually, he's not using standard HE in this game. He's actually using the premium HE, or the non-stun HE instead. That's got 1,420 hit points, alpha, and 75 millimeters of pen with a 7 meter burst radius. So, yes, it could actually be to his advantage, but he would lose out on all the stuns. So he has to do a lot of damage to make up for the fact that he's not getting any stun off these enemy tanks. And that Super Conch dies with the next shot, 614 hit points. So now our Progetto is safe from being shot from behind, but he's actually holding that position, trying to shoot, I think, up into the valley to the east of the map, that corner. Okay, he's changing position. Now we've got a shot on this Udes. Wait for it. Wait for him to back up. He changes his mind for a brief second. I think he was looking for a chance elsewhere. He's fully dialed in and he's loaded. Right on the side. It's a non-penetrating shot again, but 652 off this one. Okay, we're one tank up on the enemy at the moment. But I think we do have the benefit of position. Oh, we just lost our K91. But that Super Conqueror is now one shot. We're almost loaded. The one problem with this position is that you can't really shoot enemy tanks to the east in the valley, but you can hit guys right down the south end of the map if they're trying to defend the South Pass. So it actually can be very beneficial. He's waiting for the moment on Type 5. He's got it. Rounds out. Yes! 493 hit points. Again, no stun, but it is doing a lot of damage. Now, yes, he did knock the tree down. There is an enemy Arty in play. It's an Object 261. He might have spotted that tree going down. I think he probably isn't going to see it because at the moment there is a lot of our tank mates to fire at, and he's actually firing at our Guerrilla 15, so we know that the enemy Arty is fully occupied. And in fact, he just died. The Manticore just got the enemy Object 261, so now we're free to knock as many trees down as we need because, of course, the enemy RT can't get us. So he's going to change his position. Okay, he sees that Striv 1. 103B. Can he get a shot? Fire snap. Oh, he got him! He got him with a hit. 711 hit points. That really is going to hurt that Striv. He's down to a quarter of his hit points now. We're still only one up on the enemy. Now we're two up. They just lost their Type 5. Oksydor's trying to get a shot into that corner. Okay, the Striv is coming this direction. I'm pretty certain he's headed towards our cap area, and I think he might be trying to get Oksydor before he starts capping. So we're going to try a shotgun just in case we get somebody come around that corner rather quickly. He's ready. Changes his mind. He's got a shot on the Udes. In fact, the Udes is actually going up the hill. He might try a snap, or he might try an aim shot. Okay, let it settle. He fires in. Oh, he got him with a blind shot. He hit the guy with a blind shot on the top of the hill, and that's it. The game's over. He's won. Here's the end of battle results. That was an ace tanker game for Oksydor in the T92 HMC on the Fjords map. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he managed to get 15. And he got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And his win rate was 7,983. And he did that solely with standard non-stun HE. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see he managed to get 6,580 hit points of damage. The highest damage in the game was actually done by the guy he killed right at the end of the game. The Udes 1516, he got 7,198 hit points of damage. He picked up the high caliber, tank sniper, and a top gun in that game. So yes, he was perfectly right to focus on that game, that guy at the end of the game. When it came to the third place, well, that went to the EBR on the enemy team with 4,673 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, it's actually the Udes who managed to get 7 kills in that game, but only 4 players actually managed to get damage at all on their team, so or managed to get kills on their team. So yeah, I'm afraid it was top heavy on the Unicum. He did stay alive right until the end, and he was doing a lot of damage. One short of getting a Radley Waters, that player as well. So yes, he did have a good game, but sadly his teammates weren't up to the task. And you can see that both the Super Conquerors that Oksydor was firing at were also good players, because they did manage to get decent scores on damage, and they also got a kill each. When it came to Oksydor, of course, he got 3 kills in second place, and in third, oh sorry, he got 2 kills rather. The EBR got 3 kills, and then Oksydor's in joint third place with 2 kills, with the K91 and the 277. When it came to base XP, he's in second place on that one. The EBR 105 got 1,061. I suspect that was down to the fact that he got spotting. Yes, he did. 3,380 hit points of spotting assist out of that game, and a fair amount of damage as well on the enemy. And as I said, Oksydor got 947 in second place, and the 705 managed to get third place with 898. The 705 picked up a steel wall in that game. The Object 261 on the enemy team, he got a Confederate because he was hitting lots of the enemy, which were then subsequently taken out by his teammates, and they were the only other ones who managed to get medals. Oksydor fired 12 rounds in that game, 10 direct hits on the enemy, but none of them were penetrated. He got 13 splash. Damage of 6,580 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 2, so no chance of getting a Confederate because, of course, he got kills out of the game instead. And he earned 30,071 credits profit from the game, despite the fact that he wasn't getting any stun assists. You can see no stun assist at all during the game because he didn't fire any stunning HE. He also got 7 bonds because this was tier 10. And 1,420 XP, but no multipliers on this occasion. So there you go. Firing just standard HE with no stun actually can have quite a dramatic effect overall on your results. You do get a large amount of damage, but of course you don't get any stun assist. So to get an ace tanker with no stun assist at all is pretty special. And that's one of the reasons why I think his damage score was so high, and he got the Gauze medal because, of course, the damage score was so high. If he'd actually, if he hadn't got the Gauze medal, then he still would have been the second highest scorer in the game. That Udes player was very, very good indeed. As you saw, the win rate for him was 10,909. So he was a very special player. But Oksydor managed to get the better of him with that snapshot at the end, which actually he was a bit undecided where to put it, but he then fired and it was actually bang on target. He did get the guy in the end, so well played. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.